Tune in to find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers.
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker!
Yes, a Ranger fan. Yes, a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York Rangers.
And good evening, everybody. We are back. Welcome to the Blueshirt Underground show. Today is Tuesday. It is September the 22nd. We are now in our 6th month of our 2-week flattening of the curve. My name is Jim, and I've been trying to flatten my curves a lot longer than 6 months. And as always, I am joined on the other side of the window by the one and only Edward Geik. Eddie, good evening. Good to be back. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you as well. Great to see you in fine shape, still looking good. Me, I'm battling the curve continuously at the age of 55. I may have given up, but I think I got one more try in me, and then I may have to go for a gastric sleeve. But anyway, yes, it's good to be back. Good to be talking hockey. Love to see all the familiar faces and fans of the Blueshirt Underground. Want to give mad props to our last episode. Has like 500 views, which I think is a new all-time record. So
It
people
does.
must be yearning for us.
We're a hit.
We're a hit.
We're an 11-year overnight sensation.
I'm telling you. Takes a while to build a fan base. It's a new medium. The whole video thing.
Yes, once again at the forefront.
Most of these other Ranger Chucklehead podcasts are embarrassed to show their faces in the light of day, no less on video.
Right.
I mean, they're Ranger fans, and for that I like them, but competitors of us, there is no competition.
Got that right.
We crush, we destroy.
There was I spotted yesterday on Twitter. There was somebody was tweeting there. Good evening, Johnny. How are you? The great John Prestano has joined us here in the chat. Yes, Marty. We'll get to that. Yes, John Prestano originally from Long Island, out in your neck of the woods, I believe. John the Baker. So I was on Twitter yesterday, and there was somebody posted that their new Ranger podcast, their new episode was available.
Oh.
And I thought, let me click on this thing here and see what you got going on.
Yeah, all right.
And after about a minute and a half, I was done.
What are the? I mean, I've heard some of the other ones. What was it like that turned you off immediately? The fact that it was no fun.
It was forced. It wasn't conversational. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
All right.
Just wasn't good. It wasn't this. It wasn't this. It wasn't us.
I don't think there'll ever be an us and them. To quote Roger Waters, I don't think there'll be an us and them.
Us,
meaning our fans. I don't think you can get this kind of collection.
Them.
Right. You're just really not going to get this kind of crazy and this kind of knowledge hooked up together.
Right.
I I mean, we know what we know. We're realists. There's no people. I mean, we got a few chowder heads, but listen, we embrace you as long as you're crazy.
Yeah. like Connor says here, you get a podcast, you get a podcast, you get a podcast.
Yes.
I have not listened to
catching
Tony
on
D.
that this is a thing?
Yet. What's that?
I don't know. I guess it's the COVID, maybe, that everybody has just it's that these podcasts have emerged in the last couple of years.
Oh,
I guess the technology is so readily available.
I mean, if you don't want to do it live, then in most cases you can do it for nothing. Doesn't cost you anything. And if you're most of these podcasts that I've seen are like 20 minutes to a half hour long. They're not an hour and a half extravaganza like this is. And they're not live, so they're not taking any calls. Right. What fun! To me, that would be absolutely zero fun.
Right.
I mean, not that I don't enjoy just the two of us sitting here bantering. Lord knows, I mean, we've been doing it for 11 years. I must enjoy talking to you somewhat. I'm thinking at this point.
Definitely.
But if it was just you and I with no fans, like the NFL in an empty stadium, not interacting, I just couldn't imagine that.
It's because I think, I don't know. I've always said this. It's kind of like back in the old days when you didn't have sushi places to go to between periods. You would sit and talk to other Ranger fans in the hallways or whatever about the team. And I feel like we're just all fans hanging out, talking about the Rangers and not throwing fluff out there and just having normal, like you said, conversational stuff.
Right. We're the group that hung out in the hallway behind the blue seats having a cigarette.
Right. Exactly.
That's us.
Now.
So I wish them luck. I wish them all luck. There's plenty of room for everybody.
Hey, if there was a good one, I'd listen to it. But
right.
I got the best here. Why am I going anywhere else? I pick up my information via somebody else that I know in the underground or you. I don't have to go.
Bob Groder Pinhead podcast.
Does he really have a podcast, that fat fuck?
It's the CPAP podcast.
The CPAP podcast, Bob Groder.
The Weird Al Yankovic on every week.
Piece of shit. Anyway. Well, I got a little bone to pick with you guys here. I make a little quip on the Facebook. I very rarely chime in that thing, on that wonderful Facebook group. And I'll tell the people, the audience, the thousands that are not listening to the Bob Groder Pinhead podcast and listening to this wonderful broadcast, that I gave accolades to the New York Islander players for really giving a great effort and what I believe almost winning the Stanley Cup. Again, I'm going to preface this. I hate the Islanders. I hate their organization. I loathe and despise their fans. Are the lowest subhumans that root for hockey on earth, except for a couple I know. But I'm going to give credit, and I think you're all liars if you were paying attention, that you weren't scared shitless that they were going to win the cup, and we're already making excuses about, oh, no fans, they did it during, it's a COVID cup. All the excuses are, oh, boy, you were thinking about it. The Islander players, who I don't hate anybody on that team, okay? I can only name like 6 guys on that team, so that's why I don't hate them. But, and don't tell me, and Ranger fans, here's another thing. If you're going to analyze hockey, watch the hockey, all right? You already came with the excuse, I can't stand this left-wing lock that the Islanders play. Oh, it's boring hockey. Listen, you didn't watch because the Islanders forechecked the fuck out of all their opponents. Now, I'm not an Islander fan. I'm a hockey fan, so I'm watching. This wasn't sit back and play coy and dump and just wait. And no. The Islanders had a lot of opportunities to make that series, to win that series. They blew it. I'm glad they blew it. But not to acknowledge that they did scare the shit out of a lot of Ranger fans. I'm glad they're gone. I'm glad. But you got to admit, a lot of Ranger fans talking that the Rangers hired the wrong coach, right? It's all about the coach. Once it comes to the coach, all bets are off. He's an Islander coach. Yeah, I know, but they made a mistake because it's always the coach's fault in New York. Now David Quinn is a pariah. Oh, the Islanders. Lou Lamoriello's a genius. Yeah, Lou Lamoriello hasn't won a cup since the salary cap has been fucking introduced. So please, don't tell me how Lou Lamoriello is a genius because he hired the best coach available at the time. See, I still got Islander hate. I was just trying to say that team really was a pain in the ass to play. And if it isn't for Brock Nelson blowing a fucking breakaway and that overtime in the last game, like they were, I mean, listen, I'm not an Islander fan. You know that. I'm not going to say it anymore. That's just my point, boys and girls, that I would love to have a Ranger team that played as hard as they do. That fucking Cizikas, Matt Martin, that fourth line, I would love to have that fourth line. And just as a side note, and then, Jim, you could, a couple of years ago, John Tavares decided to leave the Islanders, and of course, those cretins were all up in arms. And, oh, my God, how could he do this? How could he do this? It's like playing for the Jets. The whole season, everybody in the Jets that was good, like the three players they had, said, I'm out of here. I got to play with Adam Gase in this atrocity of a franchise.
You remember that dumb video we played, all those Islander fans standing outside the Coliseum? They were like, it was like talking about how much they don't need him. And, they were all, doing that Jewish thing where they tear their piece of clothing. Yeah.
You know what? I do agree. After he left Tavares, there was some talk that Tavares was a problem in the locker room. He wasn't really much of a leader. And guess what? He's gone to Toronto, and as Cutter all well knows, he's done bupkis up there. They go tits up every year in the fucking playoffs. Then, without Tavares, they've prospered. So maybe all that protesting and tearing off your jersey and burning his likeness and effigy or whatever you fucking did over there at the mausoleum worked in a way. No, it turned out to be awful naught. Your team is better. All right. So enough about the fucking Islanders. But that's my point is, I think a lot of us were scared shitless. I'm not, I'm glad they're gone. The thought of them winning anything is sickening to me. Because, again, I have a long history with the New York Islanders. That's all I'm going to say on that.
All right. So you were giving them credit for being a tough team, and that's it. I don't think you don't have to quantify marks.
CCCP is like, 4-2, losing 4 games to 2 is really not close to making the finals. You were in the fucking Final Four. They lost the game. Again, I'm not an Islander apologist, but they lost the game in double overtime and overtime. That's all I'm going to say, CCCP. You fucking annoyed me. All right. Now. Now back to Rangerland. We got a new assistant coach. I guess the Gord Murphy experiment is over.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Did he get? Is he still part of the coaching staff? We don't really know now.
I don't know what they did with him, but the Rangers have hired the great Jacques Martin.
Jacques Martin. Now, Jacques Martin, let me. What he coached? He coached Canadians.
This was a coup. He's coached the. He's coached the St. Louis Blues, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, a lot of teams.
Was he head coach of the Blackhawks? No, I think he was an assistant coach under Keenan.
Wow.
He was an associate coach for the Quebec Nordiques and then the Colorado Avalanche.
Go Ottawa.
And then he was with the Ottawa Senators.
Okay.
Their infancy. Then he was head coach of the Panthers. He was head coach of
He's
the
well-traveled.
He is well-traveled, but this was a coup to get a guy with this kind of experience under his belt. Solid experience. Big-time experience.
Well, what do you think? The conspiracy theorists, the
defense
people
will all become his fault.
Yes, I mean, is he put in place there as a motivation for David Quinn to make the next step next year?
Well, I applaud. I don't know. I don't know if David Quinn has the final say on his coaching staff. I don't understand I don't know how the dynamic is with the organization, but I applaud the guy for always trying to have experience names. He's not afraid to have big time assistant coaches. Lindy Ruff was a good guy in house to help him make his transition to the NHL.
Oh, you're getting
and now
right now.
Lindy is off to greener pastures to ruin the
shittier pastures.
He's over in Beirut coaching the Devils now, and we will welcome the great Jacques Martin.
Well, I can't wait for Sammy's. He's going to be heavily francophiling that name.
How many times do you think he's going to call him? How many times do you think he's going to call him Jacques Demers?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Jacques Plante.
Jacques Plante.
Frere Jacques.
Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau.
That's Jacques Cousteau. The Chadwick.
Chip.
What
it's Jacques Cousteau back there.
Oh, God.
Swampy bastards.
Fuck the Devils. Abomination. Anyway.
Look at this jam-packed chat room. All the luminaries are here, Eddie.
I'm glad to see everybody out.
Sean Stein, Kim Sunback from over in I think Norway or Finland or one of them Aryan nations over there with all the blonde-haired kids.
One of them, like there's multiple Aryan nations out there. So what? I mean, you're excited about Jacques Martin. Was this a Gorton hire with Jay? I guess it was a whole meeting of the minds with JD.
Probably. I'm sure it's, I think I'm sure it's a collective effort, but they're not going to force an assistant coach on David Quinn that, he can't, he's not comfortable with, I wouldn't think. And look, props to David Quinn to say, and here's a guy that, has won 613 NHL games as a head coach. He's finished first in his division 4 times, including once with the fourth year Ottawa Senators. He finished first a couple of times with the Senators. And, I think it's a coup. I think it's a great move. And then, we and whenever the season starts, which, by the way, there's been some updates on that. I don't know if you've heard.
No, I have not heard.
There's some new information trickling in and speculation. But, when 20 games in, when the Rangers are 8-10-2 and fans are screaming for Jacques Martin to take over behind the bench,
Well, I guess this leads me into the question I was going to ask before you brought that up. I mean, how long of a leash does David Quinn have? We're going into year 3, year and a half, year 3/4.
I have to believe he survives a 3rd season. I don't know. Problem is, how do you rate their second year? A 65 game season and then a 3-game season. Did you see all the things you wanted to see from this team this year? Did you see development from younger guys?
Men's and men's.
Yeah, I mean, some. Were the expectations unrealistic for Capo Caco, maybe. But I think other younger players, made some progress under him. But I think you're going to have to see more progress. It's going to be tough. I'm glad it's not my job to decide, how to fairly judge this team, this organization, and if they're headed in the right direction. I mean, look, from a prospect perspective, I think the Rangers were ranked. I forget who did the rankings, but it was somebody, high on the
one or two
chart as far as hockey publications ranked the Rangers as the number one organization in terms of prospects and where they're headed. So Kravtsov, from what I'm hearing, has been tearing it up.
You're going to gaslight me with this.
I'm going to gaslight you with this. I'm just. I
I
don't write. I just report it.
You guys are putting too much stock what happens in the KHL. Nobody plays defense over there. I don't care what he's doing in the K. When he was in the A, he couldn't do jack squat. So get who's that young lady we talked to about the Russian prospects?
Jillian.
We're going to get her on the horn for the next show because I got to find out what's going on. I thought she said that he was going to play for a team that was like in Siberia. And there's no way he would go back. As I recall, I mean, maybe I'm getting the whole backstory convoluted here.
Now, I also know there's been some issues with the KHL. They've had some teams have had to cancel some games, and some guys have got sick.
Come on. It's a garage league.
So's the NHL at times.
Oh, yeah, to a certain. But you know what? This is another thing, though, Jim. I got a lot of grievances I got to ask tonight.
Oh, this is like a fencing show.
Who are these people? And tell me if you agree, people in the chat room, my friends, or you agree with this, feel free to speak against this. But I see a lot of people saying this whole playoffs is a farce. The NHL has handled it terribly. There shouldn't be any playoffs. It's a farce. I won't even recognize it. Ba-ba-da-ba-boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-ba-ba. To me, I think the NHL handled it perfect. Flawlessly. And you know how much I hate to give Gary Bettman any kind of props? I feel like I'm in the bizarro world. I'm giving the Islander props, and I'm giving the Bettman the props. Are you of this mindset? Is anybody of this mindset that this is a farce?
No, I can tell you that the woman who I live with upstairs, she thought this whole thing was a farce, and that's fine. But a lot of the same people who were screaming for 4 months, oh, this is terrible. I miss live sports. When am I going to get live sports back? And then they bring hockey back. Is it perfect? No, but compare what the NHL did to what's going on with baseball. I mean, you've got weeks of games canceled in baseball. You got teams coming down with the COVIDs all over the place, left and right. Guys getting sick. They got these guys traveling all over the place. The NHL tried. I thought it was a little convoluted, the system they came up with, but it was better than nothing. Would people just rather they have just canceled everything and we have no hockey until what's rumored now? There are rumors that we may not get a new regular season until March, which means that by the time the season resumes, the Rangers will have played 3 games in the span of a year.
Wow.
That's speculation. But apparently, I'll give you this really quick. Gary Bettman made his annual State of the League address via Zoom just before the start of the Stanley Cup Finals. In the address, for the first time, Bettman hinted that the season could start in January. He stressed that there has been no decision made on when the season will start due to the numerous concerns around the COVID-19 pandemic. He cited immigration restrictions and traveling to Canada as one of the major concerns. He said that the league could begin in the season with no fans in the stands and gradually ramp up fan participation based on local regulations. That would be a financial hardship for the NHL. As much as 50% of the NHL revenues is attendance driven. Bettman said they intend to have a full 82-game season, but considering when the season will start, that may be a pipe dream. One challenge for hockey is that the sport is played indoors as opposed to football and baseball. In Europe, the KHL is playing with 50% attendance, but they have had numerous cancellations. Games have been canceled for 3 straight days this week after players tested positive, and the entire Jokerit team, I don't know if I'm saying that right, was in quarantine for 2 weeks, forcing a rescheduling of their games. On NHL radio, there were reports that that NHL PA sources were speculating that the new season may not start until as late as March. But that does sound like a worst-case scenario. And that little blurb I read you is courtesy of BlueLineStation.com.
No.
So, I at least the NHL did something.
There's some resolution. I mean, yeah, is it optimum that they didn't play in front of fans and have home advantage and all that?
No, but
they made
people got to understand the NHL is a business, and just like every other business during this pandemic, they've had to figure out how to generate revenue under extreme circumstances, and that's what the NHL has done. Like it or not, like this tournament or not, like the fact that there's no fans and whatever, like it or not, the NHL is a business. They have to generate revenue. That's how it works. These guys, I mean, can anybody, even a guy who makes millions of dollars a year, maybe he can't afford to go a year without a salary or 2 years. I mean, a guy that's making league minimum, can he just afford to not work for a couple of years? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like any other business. You own a business, you want to make money. That's why you're in business.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. It's all about the fishnagels, kids.
All right. So Jonathan Rick says it's not a farce. I have no criticism for it. I mean, this is like they whipped this contingency plan. I think they've done everything right. Listen, I would love to bash the NHL. I feel like the other sports have done it all wrong. Well, I don't know if the NFL's done it wrong so far. That seems to be going fairly well.
Well, yeah, but from the NFL perspective, I mean, the NFL has managed to keep everybody healthy from a COVID perspective, but these guys haven't been working out all these months in this offseason, these virtual, these guys are not in game shape. Right. And that's why you saw 7 guys go down with ACL injuries over the weekend. That was, I mean, that's, and not just Joe Slobotniks here. We're talking about some of the big stars in the league. Joey Bosa, he was hurt. Garoppolo was hurt. Of course, Saquon Barkley was hurt.
The Jets got killed, but they beat up that 49ers. God.
So, I mean, an unprecedented amount of guys are getting hurt, and that's got conditioning. These guys were not in game shape. So, great. Look at our COVID numbers. Okay, nobody's got COVID, but everybody's in the hospital anyway.
Well, they scrapped their preseason, right?
Be better off if they got COVID. They'd be back in 3 weeks. Right?
Right. The NFL scrapped their preseason, right?
Right. There was no preseason. It was a couple of weeks of training camp. But, from the time the league shut down, in March, I guess, when everybody else shut down. So these guys weren't going in for their regular workouts, and, they couldn't go to gyms and things like that. So these guys were in no kind of game shape.
Jip. I wanted to so I thought the NHL handled it well.
They did the best they could.
The games are good. You see, when you see these celebrations when they win it, they're excited as if there were people in the crowd.
Yeah,
the players are acting like playing just like it was in front of fans. All right, issue 3.
Next issue.
Libor Haek. I got a big mouth. Libor Haek.
Libor Haek.
Just explain to what I'm talking about here.
You got a problem with Selma Hayek?
Yeah. Well, you see what he did, right?
He outed Hank.
He outed Hank. Hank's out of the closet.
Right.
Now, was he talking to one of these hooky faluki foreign press people where the translation could have gotten screwed up, or was this to a legit source?
The the National Enquirer. Let's see. Let me.
Was he talking to Mitch Beck?
New York Rangers defenseman Libor Haek detailed in an interview earlier this week what most have anticipated. HenrikLundqvist believes he has played his last game wearing a New York Rangers sweater. Hayek's interview with isport.cz. So that's Czech Republic.
Jack, yeah.
Chrissy, this guy killed 16 Czechoslovakians. He was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit. Surprising comments were made about what the Kings said following the team's last game played in the Toronto bubble. It was very sad after the last match with Carolina. He said goodbye, saying it was his last match. He didn't know. He said he didn't know what would happen to him if the Rangers bought him out or he went somewhere else. It was hard for him. He is a great fighter. Best hockey player in terms of approach, training, and humanity that I have ever met. I even bought the same jeans he had to look like him.
What?
That's what he said. He wanted to dress like Hank.
He really said that?
He really said that. Well, that's what my sources at isports.cz are saying. But it's Czechoslovakia. It's like going to Wisconsin.
Oh, that's from that Dan Aykroyd.
No,
Stripes.
Stripes.
Like us?
No, it's from Stripes.
Oh, that's right. We're going to fucking.
What? It's Czechoslovakia. It's like going to Wisconsin.
Yeah. All right. Let me put my 2 cents in here. First of all, I put no faith in this article because they said match. The Rangers played a game following a game. They said put following a match. The translation is wrong there.
Well, even Larry Brooks refers to them as matches. And if you get thrown out of the game, you get a match penalty. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem.
I stand corrected. To me, it sounded more like a soccer term, but okay. I'll go with it.
He's a Euro.
Do you believe this actually happened?
Do I believe this actually happened? I do, because I believe he said it. Because if it's made up, are you asking me if I believe he said it? If he
do you believe that when he broke down and cried and he said, I think I've played my last game, that he's going to share this intimate thought with Libor Haek, the sixth defenseman on the team?
It's possible. Maybe nobody else on the team will talk to Hank anymore. Maybe Hayek might be the only defenseman he hasn't thrown under the bus.
Okay. All right. So we'll go under the guise that he has said it. And I think he if he did say it, he's right. Because there's talk about a amnesty buyout. There's talk. And I think it would be wonderful for the Rangers to move on from HenrikLundqvist. Thanks for your service.
It's
you're going to get a banner. You're going to get a night. But good night, Gracie. That's all I have to say about that.
That's it. It's time. It was time 2 years ago. I think that both parties probably didn't handle this very well. And I'm going to leave it at that at this point because there's nothing else to say. He's not the goaltender he was. We all know that. And if he thinks he can go win somewhere else, then by all means do it. God bless. Good luck. God bless. Godspeed, John Glenn. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Ryan Cass says bye-bye shampoo. That leaves Shesterkin and Georgiev. A lot of people are coming up with speculation at the draft. Whenever they hold a draft, the Rangers will be trading their second first-round pick and Georgiev for something. You buying into that? Yay or nay in the underground? And my companion in visual Ranger content, Josh Schmiedeberg. What do you say?
I do think they are going to try and they're going to certainly going to listen. I think they're certainly going to listen because I think there's a, as far as NHL ready talent, I think they could use another player. They need to work on the fourth line. And Larry Brooks has speculated that one of the guys you mentioned from the other New York team might be a free agent, might be somebody that the Rangers would be interested in looking into, and that's Mr. Matt Martin.
Love that guy. I don't know if it's a little too late for the Rangers. The Rangers usually get these guys when they've already hit their peak and they're going down. But Matt Martin, certainly, I think they need a leader. They need some kind of veteran leadership on this team.
Okay.
They have so many young guys. You need, Martin St. Louis, great leader. Brad Richards, to a degree, really good leader for that team. You got a bunch of young guys. You need somebody that can play the game and be a leader. You can't just throw some sucky George Parros type of dude into the freaking mix and say, all right, you're a veteran presence. They need a guy who could lead by example, and he's a veteran forward. We already got Mark Stahl out there with his leadership qualities. And I don't believe, let's say this, and then I'll let you chime in. Chris Kreider is a leader. I don't believe he's a leader, and it's a bunch of hooey's a leader.
I would agree with that. Also, this is something that we've been saying for at least a couple of years, and because we've seen it work against the Rangers. They don't have a fourth line, and you need to have a solid fourth line. That's how you succeed in the playoffs. You can't win just on elite talent on the top two lines. It's not enough. You have to have four lines. You can't have just keep throwing these Greg McKeggs and guys like this on a Michael Haley's on a fourth line and hoping that they come up with, hoping that it works, because it doesn't. You need a genuine fourth line. Matt Martin could be that type of guy. So, David Quinn preaches that he wants to be a four-line coach, but come on, Greg McKegg. Come on.
Garbage.
Come on.
And I'm going to go against Joe Catroni. I talked about this. There was a sit-down between me and two of the Blueshirt Underground fans and afternoon.
Yeah, we're going to get into that shortly. I want
to get one of the guests.
The other two luminaries are already waiting patiently in the studio.
And I brought up.
We're going to bring them both on at the same time. We're going to have a full-on discussion here.
Good.
Caucus.
Well, one of the things that came up in the caucus is, and sorry, Joe Catroni, Brett Howden is a bum. I truly feel that Brett Howden, and I know you like the way he played in the playoffs, I think the only reason he is on this roster is to justify the trade that the Rangers made with Tampa. They're holding on to it. They have to think that they won. This guy shows me nothing. I think he's a waste. It's time to part ways. Sorry.
What do you expect from Brett Howden?
Anything. 5 goals, 6 goals, maybe.
Is that what he had?
What do he have? 3, 4? I don't know. That's the bar.
I'm asking you what you expect. You told me what you expect.
The way everybody talks about this guy, you would think he's winning like 65% of his faceoffs, that he's scoring 12 goals and 20 assists as a third, fourth liner guy.
He had 9 goals and 10 assists in 70 games. His second full year in the league, playing on the third and fourth line.
He stinks.
Okay. All right.
I just don't see it.
48% on faceoffs.
What?
48%.
Oh, 40. I think you said 40. I was about to lose my marbles here.
48.
I don't know, man. I don't see the excitement about him. And then what? Quickie might leave. I'm all upset that Quickie wants $4 million.
Brett Howden was better on faceoffs than Ryan Strome. Brett Howden was better on faceoffs than Elias Anderson. Brett Howden was better on faceoffs.
Elias Anderson. Oh, also, there's a hot button. These people with the Elias Anderson. Let go of Elias Anderson. He's a bum. He's washed up. He's never coming back to the Rangers. He's never coming back to the U.S. As a matter of fact, he's banned. I just banned him from coming back to the U.S.
He is forbidden.
Forbidden. He's got more excuses.
Brett Howden was better on faceoffs than Philip Hedl. Oh.
So
Derek Stepan made a career out of being 48% on faceoffs. I think there was a time we would have been happy if Derek Stepan was 48%.
The Rangers need a big-time face-off guy. They need a dominating guy. I know they're hard to find. You see,
they don't have one.
Hanks for the memories is going to be replaced by just give Brett a chance. Brett Howden. Howdy doody. All right, okay, I'm done. I got my strong opinion about that.
A little hard on a third, fourth line center.
They're keeping him around to justify the trade. There's got to be something. There's got to be better options. And maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's why they got to make a trade, because there are some better options out there. Put him on the fourth line.
Let me ask you this question.
All right.
He's looking at the forwards on this team. He had the fourth least amount of ice time. Only Brendan Lemieux, third. Only Brendan Lemieux and Philip DiGiuseppe had less ice time, average ice time, than Brett Howden.
Deservedly so.
Brett Howden still managed to be sixth on the team in block shots.
Oh, God, we're going to make the case.
I'm just asking.
All right. Okay. All right.
10th on the team in hits. Second on the team, starting centers. He was second on the team in faceoffs. 19 points in 70 games, which was 13th on the team. Four less points than the number one draft pick. 4 less points. I'm just saying. I think they could do a lot worse than Brett Howden.
All right. I mean, what's this? That was his second year?
Second year.
All right. I mean, you guys see something in him. I'll hang with him one more year, but the electric eye is going to be on him for this next season when it starts in 2030. I will be totally I'll be watching.
The ISO cam is going to be on Brett Howden.
Yeah. I'll have the isolate. By that time, they'll have technology. We can isolate one player. So anyway, I went all over the place there, but a lot of people saying they think the Rangers will trade that pick.
I think so. I think they're certainly going to listen and see if they get a decent offer.
And also, the Rangers now have a log jam of left wings.
They do.
They got Panarin.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They have Panarin. They have what? Is Kreider a left wing?
Nevich, Kreider, Lemieux, Panarin,
Kravtsov?
all left wings.
If he ever comes back?
Yeah, if he's ever heard from again. I believe he's a left wing too, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, now they have a log jam. You going to try to get rid of one of those guys?
We also got, I mean, Hedl plays left wing when he's not playing center, right? Another guy. I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to get moved. Who gets moved? Who do you move? Can't move Kreider. Just gave him a buttload of money. So Panera's not going anywhere.
Right.
Who can leave? Buchnevich, Lemieux, Hedel, Philip DiGiuseppe. What are you getting for him? What are you getting for him?
I don't know.
Old man Bellini.
I don't know. The Rangers got some. They got some things to work on.
Yeah, and thank you. And Lafreniere on the way.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Right.
And Lafreniere, what are they gonna do?
It's a nice problem to have.
They got to get stronger up the middle. That's my thing. Is they got to get stronger up the middle. And to me, Brett Howden is not getting stronger up the middle. All right, enough of Brett Howden. On the Brett Howden show. Thanks to me. All right, you want to bring these two gentlemen on, and we'll. Or you have anything else to say?
There was something else I had wanted to bring up, and I lost it. I lost my train.
You working on the Seattle Kraken?
That was it.
Entry draft.
Well, no, but I was thinking they are going to have to sign. If I remember correctly, they're going to have to sign a veteran goaltender just so that they have somebody to leave unprotected for the draft. Because if I understand correctly, Shesterkin and Georgiev are exempt from that draft. So they're going to need a veteran goaltender just to have them on the roster so that they can leave them exposed.
Is Glenn Healy still available?
Kay Whitmore. Remember when Kay Whitmore was a Ranger for an hour and a half?
Mike Dunham.
For just that reason.
Rock's favorite goalie. Get him back.
I think they made a trade with Vancouver for Kay Whitmore so that they could leave him exposed for maybe the San Jose draft back in 92.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah.
Something like that. Howie would probably know. He's here. Sean, or maybe even Sean might know the answer to that, but Howie would know for sure. Howie's good with that stuff. All right, do you want to bring the luminaries in? You want to hear about this round table that took place out on Long Island that I wasn't invited to? Guy Haybear. There's another goal. Now they're naming goalies.
Let me see what
JF Berube
on the Kraken's third line.
I know.
Everybody's
down on Brett Howden.
Hey, Tony, what do you think about Tony Stanziano has graced his presence with us? Tony, what do you think about Brett Howden? I don't know. He hasn't chimed in yet.
Kirk McLean. There's Tony. Kirk McLean.
Oh, Kirk McLean was terrible.
Okay.
All right. So, so there was
JD just leave JD exposed.
Yeah.
They're not going to pick JD. He's a goaltender.
He was always exposed when he was in the net. That 5-hole was exposed.
Yep.
All right, so let's get down to beeswax. Costa set this meeting up between him and Matt Morello at the Texas Roadhouse Grill in Selden, New York.
Hold on. Why did I disappear?
I disappeared too. Now I'm back. There's Matt
There we
Morello.
go.
There he is.
What's up, boys?
Matt, how are you doing?
Another day in paradise, huh?
Hi, Matt.
There they are.
Hey!
All right, there we go.
All right. And so we all
Matt,
three
have you trouble getting through on your computer?
No, it was really easy.
All right.
We all got together, and I'm not going to say one thing. I'm going to let Matt Morello and Costa. Well, Matt, you never hung around with me or Costa, so let's get your perspective first. What was it like?
So Costa says, get there at 11, which for a barbecue place I thought was a little early, but I didn't set this up. Costa did. So you get there at 11.
Sit back and listen, by the way.
Yeah, chime in whenever you want.
I'll put my feet up, I think.
Yeah. So we get there at 11, and it's me and Costa. There are people at the restaurant that work there that are not there yet. They're getting in later than we are. So we're standing out there, we're shooting the shit, and then finally a guy comes to take, I guess, our spot, which there's nobody there, so there's no need to. Eddie finally comes in, and as Eddie pointed out, Costa goes by his pseudonym Gus to take the reservation because
Costa's mad. He's got the belt out.
He's like, it's like when Sergei Fedorov used to check into hotels with Anna Kournikova, and he used to use the name Sam Jones. And Costa didn't want long. He was hanging out at Texas Roadhouse. I'll never be allowed back in Outback again. Find out I was here. I gotta use the fake name.
So
Get me back in the Sizzler.
Oh boy. All right.
Fuck. All right. So we get in, and they're trying to get Costa to buy one of the steaks that they have on display in the display case.
Okay.
And Costa shoot.
Are you muted, Costa?
No.
Oh, okay. You're unusually silent. Okay, go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
No problem. So Costa says, I don't even remember. He just shoot the guy or the.
To be fair on Costa's behalf, the woman really did not articulate. She was speaking through a mask, and it was remember. It's like, what? Remember. What? And, you know, the woman. It wasn't. Even I had a hard time understanding what the fuck she was saying.
Oh, I don't disagree. So we finally sit down to the table, and our waitress, who has seen better days, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
She was pretty weathered.
Yeah,
well weathered
for sure. The minute we sit down,
Tuesday crew, huh?
She seemed very. I don't know. She seemed kind of new in a way, like new to that franchise. I don't know. Maybe
A little ditzy, maybe a little ditzy, a little bit of a ditz, you know?
Whatever you say, Gus.
So we finally sit down, and she goes, "Oh, have you guys ever been here before?" Costa remembered the day that he was last there, so he's a loyal member.
1997. I sat at table 12. I had the bloomin' onion.
What?
Kidding.
So Costa starts ordering, and Eddie looks to me, and then he goes to the waitress, and he goes, "We need separate checks."
Yeah, because I don't know. Well, he ordered, like, I didn't know what to expect, and then he ordered something for the table, and he didn't discuss it with us.
Oh, the bloomin' onion. That's what he ordered for the table.
Which was good. And I was just like, we need separate checks. I don't know where we're going. Whether we're
I'll have the fillet chicken. I'll have the crab claws, the lobster tails.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was going.
Oh,
So,
God.
Put it on Guy's American Express, please.
Yeah. No, I knew, but I just didn't know, like, I don't know what kind of 11:30, food
so
fest
much
we're
better
getting
than I even
into.
thought
I mean, I graze mostly in the late afternoon and at night. Like, I didn't know what. Anyway, so go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah. So then we finally put the order in, and then we're just, talking Ranger hockey or whatever. And I could tell some of the other diners around the area were a little concerned because Costa, I love him to death, and he's just being Costa. He doesn't give a shit. He's dropping F-bombs. He's talking about how he wants America to just blow up, burn down, and how he hates the country. And again, I'm loving it, but there are some people around that were very disturbed by
But you know what? That's what I liked about
the whole
What I
scene.
got away
Right
with
over at us.
right there.
Well, what I told Jim about the meeting was that Matt totally got Costa, like I get Costa. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, Gus is just, hey, if you don't like him, go fuck yourself. I like him. Matt likes him. But yes, there are other people around that are just like, they get very nervous. You know, why is that guy yelling, fuck James Dolan? I'd pull a bullet in his head. I'll piss on his grave. You know, he goes into that whole thing.
And by the way, the line "It's all about the money" was used maybe 15 different times in 15 different situations.
Yeah, but you made him, Matt. You made him say it a couple times.
Oh yeah, guilty as charged.
Yeah,
of course I did.
You baited him into that because you know that's one of your best. You like that bit.
It's like when you go see Tyson, you yell it out. Do the nursery rhymes. Do the poems.
Right. Do it all about the money.
Do the poems.
Do agendas, my friend.
When Costa was getting into his political bits, we came up with an idea that Costa's going to run for Congress.
Oh, for God. What we say? In Gus we trust.
Yeah, Gus we trust on the back of the shirt.
Each of us trust them. In Gus we trust.
We're not telling any lies.
So then we get, there's, I guess, a guy who's like he's training
Walter,
who's going to be the real manager. And Gus and him are now becoming best pals. They're talking about how this guy's living in a hotel for free, which Costa loves because it's all about the money. And he's talking about all of his travels all over the place. I never would think a boring guy, Walter, who works at Texas Roadhouse, would become such a star. But he was.
He was an integral part of this round table.
And also Costa, Gus, who hates all people, is now connecting with Walter.
Yes.
You know, he prides himself on being antisocial, but he was being very social at that moment.
And with the guy before we got in that took our original spot in line, he was talking to that guy.
Came up to me and I guess he thought we were applying there for a job, and he goes, "Does the manager speak Spanish?"
Yeah.
What are we waiting for? I guess we got there so early. They thought we were there for jobs.
Thought you guys were a mariachi band.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to ask us for a few pesos.
Oh.
All right.
So Walter just posted on Facebook that him and Costa are going to Red Lobster next week.
No homo. No homo.
No homo.
All right. No promises.
What were the other highlights? There was a lot of. So then we're trying to get the Operation Belmont plan going down because that inevitably came up.
Right.
So we had some ideas for that, but we're still working out those kinks. This is only the first meeting, so
right.
We're in phase 1 of that whole operation. I think my personal favorite is when we get to the part where we got to pay. So, like a lot of restaurants do now, they have the option where you can scan on your phone, and then you can either get the menu or try to electronic pay.
Right.
So Gus tries to pay from his phone because he's Mr. Technology.
Right.
That wasn't working very well. He was having a little trouble with that. So then it comes time to pay, and Gus is using his Cayman Islands debit card because his money is in offshore accounts. He had to get the money from the John Spano alleged bank account over in the Virgin Islands. We might not ever be able to go back there because Costa may not have actually paid.
I did pay.
Relax. I'm joking.
I know.
First of all, Jim, I would have invited you, but I wasn't in charge of setting up the meeting. I found out about this, 24, 48 hours before it actually happened. But it was a fucking fun time. I will say that.
Sounds like it.
Oh, and when you get Costa on, I mean, you guys know, but when it's in person, there's nothing better. When you get him, like if you lead him into a certain thing, you don't have to do anything.
Oh,
He'll
yeah,
just
right.
No, you just put a quarter in him and let him go.
Oh, he's wonderfully entertaining, man.
People are taking bets here, trying to figure out how much Costa tipped. I see somebody, Pat said $5. Someone else, I think, said 10. Actually, she wasn't that great a waitress either, so she probably deserved. Yeah, she sucked. Oh, and then the other good part was Costa literally she was feeding like an alcoholic at the bar. Costa was getting his Diet Cokes literally so fast, and then he goes, "It's a sickness, it's a disease," alluding to his.
It's not just the Diet Cokes, my friend. It's half Diet Coke, half Mr. Pibb.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And he hadn't had Mr. Pibb since, but yeah.
She was a little confused by that when he originally ordered it too.
Hey, here I am. I think I'm the star of this meetup. It's like you meet your podcast hero. And it turns out Costa's the star.
Well, Ed, I would have bowed down to you, but then
All hail!
He's the king. I'm just a mere peasant.
Sean McCaff goes, his phone didn't have enough RAM in it to pay online.
He also pulled one of the Gus Greats. He said, "Let me look at your phone." He's got to look at your phone and then have judge. He looks at it. He goes, "iPhone 9."
Oh yeah, because I got the iPhone 8.
Yeah, he likes to do that.
Because I got the iPhone 8, not the more current iPhone. So I tell. So I go.
No, but he does like
the 8 too, man. I love it.
It's not broken, so why the hell am I gonna change it and then pay more money? I don't care.
Exactly.
When it's broken, then I'll get a new one.
Exactly.
I will admit the food was pretty good.
It was.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse is not bad. We go there. We got one not far from here. We go there quite a bit. Well, not late. Don't go anywhere anymore. But
oh, you can go there now.
Oh yeah, if we want to go all the way to Long Island to eat steak.
Probably a line.
We could do a broadcast from there.
Go for 11:30.
Yeah.
Just what people want to see. An hour and a half watching you stuff my face with those.
So that was Costa. So what are your thoughts?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, I got
the other Costa.
Hey, Matt put it very eloquently.
Okay.
What an honor.
Gus, you had a good time, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, this won't be the only one.
Matt's like now he's really into this now.
Oh, the time literally did fly. I mean, other than getting there at 11 in the morning for a barbecue. Right. I mean, when we left, I was like, "Oh shit, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon."
Before you knew it, it was 1:12.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a dessert.
You know,
order, but it wasn't.
You went out to this place at 11 o'clock in the morning. You want to feel honored because there's a lot of times Mr. Geik doesn't get up until 11 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
Well, oh wait, Eddie, you didn't bring up the fact that someone wanted to fight you on the way over.
Oh yeah, I was the product of road rage. Apparently in the parking lot.
Was it Dan Schmidt?
No.
It was Paulie D.
It was Paulie D. No, apparently in the parking lot. I have no idea what I did, unless I completely spaced out and cut somebody off, or I mean, first of all, it's a parking lot. How fast are you going? I was going like 25 miles an hour, maybe less than that. And I pull into the parking spot, and there's this guy in his car pulls right next to me. He's like, "You see what you did there?" I go, "No." He goes, "You almost hit me. We almost collided." I go, yeah. He goes, but do you know what you did? I go, no, I didn't see it. Like, I guess he expected some reaction, but I was so clueless. It was almost like he was pulling a prank on me. Like, I have no idea what I did. I probably did it. I don't know if this guy's one of those nervous guys, that like you within 30 feet of them, they think you almost hit him. He was an older guy,
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. And so he's like, so let's roll with it. Well, you could have said you were sorry. I'm like, sorry for what? Now we're in a whole conversation now. And he rolls up his sort of, he backs out and he starts to leave. And then I'm like, go fuck yourself. And he just drove off. I don't understand what's road rage. Why do you got to pull up to somebody? But why do you got to pull somebody? What are you going to gain from that? Say it was a psycho. I would have pulled out a gun and shot him, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Next time I'll do that. But,
Lucky for him, you're a lover and not a fighter.
Right. I'm a lover of barbecue at 11:30. More. So, yeah.
Do you want me to bring up? Do you want me to bring up the idea that we came up with, possibly?
Yeah, well, Costa shot it down, but
I brought it up to Jim, and Jim is very into the idea, so we might as well bring it up to see what the chat room thinks about it.
Okay, before the idea, Matt was bringing me up to speed on all Cutter's videos.
Oh, yeah.
And his critique of them.
So did you see him, Jim, or no?
I've seen a couple of them.
Look at the face when he
he
agonizes when you talk.
So he created a long, and I mean long, like video where it's an MMA, and I mean long video where it's an MMA tournament where it's a Grand Prix, where in other words it's like the old MMA where you would fight every single guy in one night until you win. So I'm in it, Jim, you're in it, Eddie's in it, Costa is in it, Sean McCaff is in it, and I think Newman was the other, which I don't know why the fuck he was in it. I don't know. So, and this is where the whole thing is bullshit. I beat Eddie. Costa somehow lost to Cutter, and then Newman ended up losing or beating me, which absolutely made no. And I tried to watch this thing through. I literally skipped through 90% of it to find out that I lost to Newman, which I don't know how I beat Eddie. Also, I lose.
Oh, I'm not much of a fighter. Martin said he saw that, and Martin. You're really watching Cutter. Your videos are internationally known now.
And this isn't the only one. He did a second one where, one of them was the Japanese promotion, and then he did another one.
Pride, right? It was Pride, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first one was Pride, and then the second might as well have been. And then the second one, and then the second one was UFC, and that one I just. And then the best part of it is, and the only reason that's worth watching is it's the real game, and then you hear him doing commentary where he's like half talking in the middle of it. He, instead of Bruce Buffer doing fighting out of the blue corner, you hear Cutter over Bruce Buffer trying to imitate him.
Oh God.
Which is awful.
Is it cringe? Maybe cringe as well?
It'll give you the douche chills. That's all I'm saying.
Don't worry, it's gonna get. I'm telling you, it had over 4 views.
A new record.
New record.
He's like Jim Dim Lampley.
Jim Dim Lampley. Well, God, so the idea.
Yeah. So the idea that I came up with, now I ran it by Catroni, but I guess he didn't look at his Facebook Messenger, is I want to create a Blueshirt Underground show, Hall of Fame / Ring of Honor whatever you want to call it. So just like at the Garden, when you have the retired numbers with the banners, and they'll look identical, it's going to be, let's say, Costa, and it can have the money sign, or it can have Cutter, and it can have his ass crack hanging out because somehow the guy can't find a pair of sweatpants, but that'll be Cutter's. We can have Frankie with a tinfoil hat or a scooter on it or whatever. All the people who either have made a huge impact on the show, they've had longevity, they help out with the show, or no impact. Yeah, it's a wide array of how you can get inducted. And then my idea was it could be right behind Eddie, and on that wall we can have the banners there. And then to make sure this is done properly, we'll have a committee of certain longtime people in the group. And there will be an induction process. Then we'll have a ceremony where there will be like a video package. There can be, like either a jacket or a plaque or something
can we just
special.
Make a video?
Jim's got a job.
Well, this will all be done off. We'll get this done right. I know people.
All right.
If it's for this show, why would we do it right?
Well, that too. It's better when it's done wrong.
Well, Cutter does not like this idea. I mean, not Cutter, excuse me. My apologies. Gus does not like this idea.
He doesn't want.
Meanwhile, Gus is like the first one that would get inducted. He's like the Gordie Howe of this group in terms of being an automatic nomination, and he's the one who doesn't.
I don't know. I think Cutter would be my first because, I mean, what if he offended the blacks, women, everything? Really, everybody.
Absolutely no offense to Costa. But yeah, I think Cutter would have to be the first one.
I would put him.
I just think this is just so hokey. It's really hokey.
Oh, Gus.
Wait a minute, Gus. You mean to tell me this show has standards?
Yes.
That this is considered hokey?
Yes.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
I think you don't like the spotlight on you. That's it.
That's what it is. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want the notoriety.
Listen, if you don't want in, you don't have to be in. No one's. We're not holding you a
partner. You know what I'm saying?
You can
if you want to be in on the committee.
I'll just tell you one thing. Once it starts and you see some of those names, don't come to us begging to be on it.
Right.
Yeah.
When
I don't mind to do it, but it just sounds so hokey.
Oh, see now all of a sudden he's in on it.
You see the luminaries go up to the rafters.
And you're not there.
Yeah, if there's a $10 gift certificate to
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse, that'll be it. It's all about the money. It's all about the gift cards. So
we've already managed to raise a free Munchkins coupon from Dunkin' Donuts to give to the winner.
The frosty coupon.
Which, by the way, Cutter, you can't have the two hosts be in the Ring of Honor if they're in the show.
Yeah,
they would.
We couldn't get a Nat Sherman cigar, but we did get a Sherman Hemsley cigar.
All right.
I like how Cutter automatically goes. I think I automatically go for committee member as I hit 10 years. Imagine him being in the committee. Nothing would ever get done.
He should be committed.
I'd rather be committed than have him in there.
He does, but you know what, Cutter? You harbor some resentments against some certain people.
Right.
Yeah, you got to have rational minds electing people in there. Like I said, Jen should be in there. Have a female perspective. That would make sense. Catroni should be in the committee. Other people.
Catroni should be in the committee only if he recants his Brett Howden love.
Yes.
That's the only stipulation.
You said it perfectly, Eddie. He is there only because to justify the fucking trade.
Hey, Gus agrees with me, folks.
I don't disagree with him either.
Yeah.
Good if Ryan's cast Cutter would be a political figure and never get any.
We're playing Brett Howden on the fourth line to justify trading the captain.
I just think the hype.
What hype?
But there was hype that Howden was going to be a really good prospect, a really good. I don't know. I don't want to go into the Brett Howden.
Well, it was also a salary dump. Let's be honest. It was a
He's
fucking
21.
salary dump as well.
He's 21.
Too old. Maybe 30 by the time the next NHL season rolls around.
Right.
By the way, I do agree. Rock would be in
Puts
there.
out the next letter. Brett Howden's the first to go.
What do you guys feel about Hank not returning next season?
I think I said it to you on Saturday. There's no way for him to stay. How are you going to have him stay when the goalie is clearly now not him? And I would much rather Georgiev be there at a lesser cost, and he's just better. Where the hell is he? Why am I paying $8.5 million for a guy to never play?
And I can guess Gus's reaction will be bye-bye, toodles.
Right.
It's all about the money.
I'm here on one. I don't know what the site was, but they proposed R1 and Lundqvist to Ottawa for the sake of just buying them out.
What? Our number one?
Yes.
I thought it's people. Where'd you read that from?
I think it was called might have been called Fansided. That site.
iSport.cz. Libor Haek said
it. Tony Stanziano.
Walter just posted on Facebook that him and Costa are going to Dave and Buster's next week, and then possibly bowling.
No homo.
He's gonna make the trip from Poughkeepsie.
No homo. He said no homo. Hashtag no homo.
Hashtag no homo.
Hashtag no homo.
Costa will have to drive up to Poughkeepsie to go visit Walter. That's where I think his home base is, according to his shirt.
You couldn't pay me to drive there.
But if they paid you, you'd show up.
Yeah, I give you $20, you'd be up there as soon as possible.
Pay for gas and $20, you'd go. Let's see that security jacket in the back there you got.
It's Costa after dark.
Look at that.
Yeah, the rent-a-cop.
Homeland Security.
That's defending our borders.
First line.
Yeah. Put it on. Oh, I gotta put it on.
Hey, why don't you put
Make
it on?
Sheldon great again.
Make Sheldon great.
Put it on the back. Put it in the back.
Making Amity great again.
He made sure he put it back crooked on his back of his chair.
Shut up.
I'm only kidding. Come on.
It's Costa after dark.
In the dark.
Taking
In the photo room.
We love you, Costa. You know that.
What'd you say?
No homo again.
No homo. I'm sorry. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for coming on the show and
Good
Jeremy,
story.
The story, Matt. Your recap was beautiful.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Amen.
We're gonna talk to Connor real quick. Get the hell out of here.
Okay.
So are we approving of the
We're not.
proposal for the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame?
We'll get back to you.
Right.
What do you believe with that?
Let me and my co-host discuss it.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll talk about it in the green room over sandwiches.
Tomorrow when I wake up
Ooh,
at 3 in the
you
afternoon,
got me.
discuss it. When I wake up at the crack of 4 p.m., I'll talk it over with Jim.
Crack of 4 p.m. Sean McCaff said, "No homeland security."
Oh, wugga, wugga.
Oh my god!
All right, boys.
All right,
my friends.
All right. Until next time.
good night.
Good night.
Wow.
Oh God, that story was even better than I expected.
Matt Morrell's got a terrific memory. All that all happened.
Wow.
Good sport. And listen, he fucking cracks me up, man. And it's just, I don't give a shit if other people think he's a maniac. I know he's harmless and he's funny. Good guy. Anyway, so Connor Nicolini.
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, Connor? Can't hear you.
That's what I say.
Can't hear you, big boy.
Oh, he gets that weird look on his face.
I can't hear you.
Oh, shit.
There he is.
Can you guys hear me okay? I'm on shitty Wi-Fi again.
Now we can.
We can.
What's up, guys?
Not much.
All right, perfect.
So, what?
All right, well, anyway, I'm currently...
Go ahead.
Shit. I can't see you guys. I'm gonna come back on.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Take care. Be good. All right. We'll see if he comes back. And if not, we'll talk to him next time. This is 2020. These people can't get Wi-Fi.
Get those mobile hotspots.
Get out to the call us from McDonald's or Starbucks or something. Look at this. I am planning on BSU Fight Club Fire Pro Wrestling as the next big project.
Good luck with that. God bless.
Right.
Oh. There he
Matt
is.
Monroe asking if Kana is baked. I think perpetually.
Yes.
I think he is, as Eddie would say, an herbal enthusiast.
Yeah. Where's Matt live? In New York or Pennsylvania?
Matt Morello?
Oh, not Matt. I mean, Connor lives in New York, right?
Yes. He was going to school upstate, but I think he's done with that now, so I'm not sure where he lives.
Okay.
Yes, Connor calling from a golf course. All right, we're going to try this again.
He's calling from
He's with Matt Barnaby on a golf course. What's up, Connor? Yep.
All right. What's up, guys? No, Matt, I'm not baked. I've had one screwdriver, so I'm good. Matt Barnaby stole all the booze, and now he's choking a bouncer right about now. So I'm on double duty here.
But look, be nice to Matt Barnaby. He's on hold.
You want it? We want to cut the mat? No, I'm only kidding.
No.
Yeah, that's
Really, he said he'll wait. So what's going on, Connor?
Your comments on what you've seen so far on the show? Comments about the Rangers?
Well, for starters, on this episode of Where the Fuck is Andy Pettit, I'm currently in Vermont, as I have been since this whole quarantine started, and that's why the service is so awful here.
You're up there.
But what can I say?
You're up there, Mario Morgato's story.
Yeah, that's what Mario's from. He lives in Vermont.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
anyway, this has been a phenomenal offseason. We got the number one pick. We got to. How far am I? What?
How big was that screwdriver?
Oh, hold on. Anything?
I can hear you.
All right. Is that working?
Yeah. Well, I would say
this is more.
It's crazy, man.
All right, I'm calling.
I don't think Connor can hear us. All right, Connor, we'll try again with Connor some other time. It's just not working for him tonight.
31 screwdrivers. God bless Connor. It just was not working. The videos weren't working. So listen, baby, we did an hour and a half with no hockey going on as far as the Rangers go. Only 2 teams remaining. Tampa and Dallas all tied at 1 game apiece.
Yes, sir.
The Jets stink. The Giants stink. The Knicks stink. The Nets stink. The Mets stink. The Yankees are okay. Certainly
They're
not
not
as
going
good.
anywhere.
What?
They're not going anywhere. The Yankees.
And all we got is our beloved Rangers and their you.
Right.
So
the movement. What the hell are we now? Just seriously, if we don't have, if there's no hockey until March, what the hell are we going to do? What are we going to talk about?
I'll make a game show, maybe. I
Should
got
we?
the wheel.
Should we start the bracket of misery over again?
No, not that again.
The sequel.
We'll be in it. The 2020 COVID crisis. That'll be that will beat the Tampa loss. 7 games. No, I got that wheel I can spin. I got that going. I showed you that on the show a couple weeks ago. I don't know. Yeah.
I was thinking the draft is October 6th, which is what, 2 weeks from today? 2 weeks from today. You want to maybe, I could see if we'll talk to Steve Cornianos next week. We'll see when he's available. And
yeah, I also reach out to that Russian chick. I want to know what's going on with Kravtsov. That's
okay.
That would be great if we could get. I mean, what else are they doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
I will reach out to both. Howie Sussman. I'm Joey Tribbiani. Let's play Bamboozled.
That's funny.
BSU Truth or Dare. Get the hell out of here. These guys are crazy. So BSU Moments Tournament. Cutter says.
No more tournaments. I'm sick of tournaments. You're obsessed with tournaments, Cutter. No more tournaments. No more brackets. It's entertainment. Entertainer, folks, or you lose the audience.
How about top 10 Cutter moments?
I just don't want. Maybe if it goes to 2025,
that would be funny though.
So
the night he called them the night he colored people.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely up there. What about when's this draft? October what?
October 6th, 6th and 7th.
Guess there won't be no Ranger viewing party for this.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Maybe in a secure location.
Where? In Botswana?
Right.
What's going on? All right, Jim. We put in our hour and a half of diligence and duty and entertainment.
I'll reach out to some people about being guests, and we'll see what we could do.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming back in a total throng of support.
Yep, you guys are the best. As always.
I'm glad to see you guys. Certainly have not lost your comedy chops while we were gone. I laughed, I cried.
I shit my pants.
It was really fun, and I thank you all for coming out, and all you people who are going to be watching later. It was a lot of fun. Jim, nice seeing you again.
Same here, buddy. Are there any nights next week that you're not available? This way I'll reach out.
Right now, it looks like Tuesdays are good.
Okay.
Thursdays are not good. Friday is good.
All right.
So Tuesday.
I'll see what I can set up for next Tuesday then.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
good. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you sometime next week, hopefully Tuesday, and hopefully with some guests.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Take care. Be well. We love you. Good night, everybody.
Oh.